Yeah, we are.
You're in that film, Stuart.
I see.
Was it returned yesterday? Or was it back yesterday? What did I call it?
Return.
It was funny while we thought it was true. Like, it's funny anytime someone just says convergence naturally. It's like... And obviously you always tell me temporal anomaly comes up. Does that happen often?
They don't say it enough, so...
Every other kind of temporal, but not an anomaly.
Anyway.
It does happen.
Welcome back, guys.
This is
It's
how...
a new week. It's a new live. It's a new me. Not really. But it's a new you guys here, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. We have new people? No, we only have 10 people and 6 likes. Hit the like button. Anyway.
Yes.
Today we're talking about TOS characters.
Yes, we are.
So it's simple. You guys super chat in $5. Just tell us which character you want us to discuss, and we rank them.
This is the definitive internet list, as you all know. So we are making history, making waves, making controversy, and of course, if you disagree and you feel so strongly, then $5 moves up or down. If you feel that strongly, this of course supports the channel, what we do here, and our ability to do more episodes of other fun things. So help us out, put in some fun things, throw in both the obvious and the less obvious. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to start showing it to you in a second.
Obviously. All right, guys. Hit the like button. It's the easiest way to help us out. Super chat in. Since there's not a lot of TOS, I mean, this is going to count for the movies as well as the series. So by all means, let us know what you guys think. Olivia, we can't do that one because you didn't spell it correctly. Khan is Khan. It's in the name of the goddamn movie, and everyone misspells it. Anyhow, so yes, hit the like button, super chat in, and by all means, look at the options to join the channel. There's a join button down there for YouTube, or you can head over to Patreon/Trekyards and join us over there. It's kind of a monthly way to support us, which really helps us out. So if you can, please do so. Get your name in the credits and all that fun stuff. And also make sure that you check the links down below. There are links to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. And yeah, just tell other people about Trekyards. Ooh, Ralston, that is a deep cut. There is a TOS one, yes. All right, so yes, do the things, and hopefully we'll have some fun today.
Yeah, we've got a lovely list. I mean, TOS is, I think, is certainly known for its characters. Be it, you know, unknowns coming in playing amazing roles, or people who at the time were big character actors who came in to lend their additional whatnot. And given that the main crew wasn't necessarily given as much time, TOS was often the guest star coming in and kind of rocking the show. Episode featuring Apollo, featuring Khan. These are really, you know, they got a lot of time to shine. So a lot of very memorable guest actors because they kind of got time, like I say, to shine. Yeah, and there's a couple of variations we can talk about. You know, Spock, Mirror Spock. It's not a ton, of course, but there's a few if you guys want to be specific.
Did you want to split Khan up into movie Khan and base seed Khan?
That's what we already mentioned. Yes, we also get anything TOS era, TOS themed, TOS branded. So TOS movies count. So that's movies 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Then a little bit of 7. Because they are TOS movies, right? So there's 2 Khans. There are, I guess you could argue several. I mean, it could be annoying to do several chapels. No, Rans. TOS ran. That woman from the viewing window ran. Excelsior ran. If you want to be annoying. And some of you do.
I mean, sure.
That's, you know, you guys control our fate. So, who are we starting with today, Stuart, my main fellow?
Olivia throws in $5 and spells Khan wrong. So I don't know which Khan. Since it's the yellow one, that'll be from the movies. And Khan is Khan. I don't know why people misspell it every goddamn time. It's actually in the name of the movie. It is the title of the movie. It says it on the movie. But everybody misspells it. Anyway, yes. There is Movie Khan. Ricardo Montalban doing his thing. That's his real chest. That is his real chest.
I never thought otherwise. I'm not sure why that's such a thing.
Because he wasn't known for... You never saw him without a shirt, really. He was known for Fantasy Island, where he's Mr. Rourke, and he doesn't really come across as being buff. So when he got the movie role and people saw him like that, they assumed it was a fake chest, which I can see it kind of maybe. But anyway, yes. Absolute vengeance and hatred for Kirk for stranding him, even though Kirk's intentions were good and Kirk didn't know that they would be in that situation. But the fact that they never came back to bother to check up on them, yeah. Very single-minded, driven Superman, a man amongst men, supposedly better intelligence, super strength. Yeah, he stranded the crew of the Reliance, stole their ship, and the Genesis device. And yeah, he's a real badass. There you go.
Yeah, not the nicest of fellows. Any redeeming qualities?
He loved Martha MacGyver. He loved his wife.
Yes. Because I was wondering if loyalty was one of them. But I wouldn't necessarily call him a loyal character, because he actively would put his own vengeance over the crew's safety, when, as we know, he could have just left and been fine. So there was a point where he would have won thematically just by leaving.
Yes, but he needed to get that vengeance.
Yeah, well, exactly.
His superior, ambition wanted him to prove that he was the better man between him and Kirk. He wanted to...
I mean, the performance, of course, is gorgeously nuanced. And the famous story about him acting too big and the director saying act small, and then it clicked because his quietness, his introspection, his thinking is smart. Because then when he is good, because then when he is able to then lift you out thinking while not being angry, that's powerful, right? The intensity, the swagger, right? That's all pretty great. And bit of Shakespeare, bit of alien Shakespeare somehow. How's he know what the moons of Nibia are? He's never visited anywhere, but that's fine.
And Saborg says, is the chest real or not? That is the question. Yes, 100% real.
But is he a great character, or is he just a great performance? And this version, of course, not TOS one, as in this one movie.
A bit of both. I think it was a great performance, great actor, and yeah, the character. I like the single-mindedness of it, like the white whale approach. He needed to get Kirk to prove that he was, superior intellect and all that. So,
which is funny because you shouldn't have to prove it if you are.
Exactly, but
I like to think it was also revenge for his wife. Less about it's about revenge on all his people and his honor.
Yeah,
it's more than just because he can; it's because he needs to.
If you read the books where it fleshes out what happened on City Alpha 5, I mean. You get a lot more layered character for sure, but just based on the movie, yeah, I think a good villain overall, superior in every way, pretty much, except for
patience.
Well, yes, yeah, and his. Now, the fact that he doesn't give up. I mean, Kirk knew that and used that to his advantage. I'll say this for him: he's consistent.
Now, is it worth noting? Should we lose a point that he's not got superior hair follicles? Because they didn't maintain their colour.
That's just silly. At least he still has hair. Kirk doesn't.
It's beautiful hair. Sorry. Okay, obviously everyone wants to put it as S, but is he actually an S character? This is character, not villain, right? Or is he?
I think this version's an S for character and villain.
Yeah.
For the Space Seed one.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Until people put it in. Let's go S and C, because that might just be bias. Because he's excellent, of course, but other characters that are better characters, like TOS is not obviously three-dimensional in its full way, so it's kind of some level of rejigging, but
there's a lot of TOS characters that aren't going to be as three-dimensional, let's say. No. I think he's a pretty complex character, so I think S is good to start with him.
Yeah. Just wanted to put the slight opposite opinion for a second.
Yeah. Well, S. Bailey throws in only $2, but we'll allow it for this one. For this particular one. $5 for anyone. Kailash.
No, K-less.
There you go.
Because TOS K-less.
Yes, and there was Kailash was in TOS, guys. He was in the episode The Savage Curtain with the Excalbians.
And guess what? He called himself K-less. They all called him K-less. So clearly, his name is K-less. No kills!
Yeah, indeed. And it seems that even back in Kalas's day, they had the smooth head problem. Although you can't really tell because his hair is covering up his ridges. That's all it is. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, not a very good character in the episode. Just basically like Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of motivation behind him, and it's not very three-dimensional at all. That being said, he wasn't actually the real Kalas. He was just a representation that the Excalbians projected. So,
True.
Yeah, there's not much going on with this guy, honestly.
I mean, it's amazing they invented the name and it stuck, right? You always forget he's in TOS, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a representation. He didn't, as far as I can recall, he didn't do anything special as a Klingon. But then again, the Messiahs aren't always that special. They're just people that do a thing at a time and become famous, right?
Yeah, they get turned into cult status.
Because he's not a god, and Claire's was never. He's just a man that did some big things. That's, whatever. I mean, I feel like I want to give him a D just for legacy factor, because that is the legacy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, consider, smooth headed up. There he is, with bushier hair as well. Because a lot of Klingons don't have that bushier a hair, and he is right up there.
That's true.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
They
Who's
did, Mr.
next?
Captain.
Ozzy, $5. Khan, how does Khan know Chekhov and Sulu? I don't know if that's referring to the Space Seed one.
Well, both Khans straight out the gate.
Well, he knows Sulu. Sulu was on board. Chekhov was as well. He just wasn't a bridge crew member yet, so they just ran into each other in the toilet.
Yeah, that's always the joke. Actually, not going.
So.
Oh, yours then. Yeah. So how does TOS Khan compare? Now, I think in some ways he's better.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, yeah.
Because he's more nuanced. He plays more faceted. He's playing the friend. He's playing the victor. He's playing the conqueror. He physically abuses a woman. He literally has a tete-for-tete with Kirk and Spock and then breaks. Really broad set of things. Plus he's trying to act Indian, which gives him a different flavour to... Sorry, too, he's not. He's just Khan. Like, he's his own thing.
Yeah.
He's doing slightly more unique things here.
That's why I think the movie Khan's good, because it's the same Khan, the kind of measured, precise, gentlemanly Khan, but after years of living a hard life and having this rage built up, you could say that the Khan from from Star Trek II is actually a much more nuanced Khan, because he did take this performance into account. And yes, this performance is really good. He's like a Bond villain. He's very calculated and measured, but he does lose his temper. You can push his buttons. I think he's also an S.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, if the other guy's an S, this guy's an S. Because, like I say, he has a larger range, this guy.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see him actually win and be the Emperor. Because the other version, he's the survivor. He's the revenger. In here, he plays the Emperor. He is the winner. He is the strong guy. I think they're really very, very different performances, but you can see the lineage. Absolutely. No, I think it's great. And it's a really good episode to rewatch. The dialogue is so sharp from everybody. Until you get to the abuse scene, it's like, well, this is unnecessarily weird. But apart from that, it's great.
That was for story purposes, to show what he was capable of.
Exactly. I just don't like it from personal level, right?
Well, yeah.
But it's not, you're meant to like it, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're both S in different ways. That's the thing. They're not the same. What do you guys think? Are you going to agree with us that both are S? And again, everyone in the Trek movies counts. So movie 1 up until 7, the first bit.
Olivia Julius, $5. Khan, spelled right. Stuart, you're meaner than he is. Thank you. Oh, yes. Olivia, $5. Apollo, because my dog's name is Apollo. Ah, yes. If I can move this. Come on. There we go. I hate this program sometimes, just for the record. All right. Yes, so the god Apollo.
The real.
Was actually, yeah. It's actually the real mythological god from Earth. Was just an alien that stopped by and they got praised and worshipped, and there's a whole rack of them. They all, did their thing. But no, very well done performance. Again, definitely came across as a arrogant mythological god, and have the ability, well, a few abilities to be able to become quite big in stature and show his imposingness.
Yeah. Which wasn't a trick. That was actually him growing.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes. Even though the palace behind him was the source of his power, kind of thing. I don't know. TOS.
So, I'll summarize. TOS.
He is also quite a romantic guy. He swooned the one lieutenant, and definitely came off as charming and nice. Like, I find a lot of these villains have that kind of charming, I can get what I want by being nice. But if you turn on them, they get quite ragey. He was shooting people down with lightning bolts from his fingertips.
Palpatine much?
Killed Scotty. I believe he killed Scotty.
Yeah. Well, the fact it's not as
Nomad
as it should be is probably a bad sign.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Typical mythological god, and I think performed very well. And I love that he came back for Star Trek Continues.
And that goes into my headcanon, because it is him.
Yeah.
And he brought his own. I'm sure he helped not write it, but like maneuver it a bit. Because not often you get to come back for a absolute one-off. Like, it's different if you're bringing back, a Kirk or whatever as a legacy character, but bring a single episode, single performance, not single note, but then bring it back. No, he's excellent. I mean, it's one of those. I've always remembered Apollo for the performance, for just the boldness, for obviously the costume he rocks. That you feel is a gravitas that's fun. And I think at the end he's kind of pathetic.
Yeah,
which is again a nice transitional. He can play both well, and yeah, charming for sure. I mean, he's one of my higher echelon of the TOS guest cast. I'd say at least a B.
Yeah, I was thinking a B for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, strong. Although it's one of those things, is his hair actually dark, or did he dye it? Because actors back then, they smoked, so their skin looked a lot worse. So is he actually old enough to have grey hair, or is he young enough to have black hair but has an older face?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's trickier back in the day, because it looks like he's, 50-something, but that'd be pre-dyed hair at that point to get that black. I mean, so it's a one then. Do you guys agree?
All right.
I cannot wait to do our TOS reviews, Stuart, because I'm going to have really a different perspective on it going in. And really,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been watching some TOS lately, so it'll be interesting. All right. Next up is Not a Band Account, $5. Junior Science Officer Tuvok of the USS Excelsior. Oh.
The technicalities be wild.
That is a technicality.
But we know he was there, and we did see him pretend to be there, so I'm happy. Well, obviously, I did it, so I'm happy to include it. But, I mean, yeah.
His first Starfleet career.
Yes.
he left and then came back. See, he was in this. He's in Star Trek a few times. He's in Star Trek Generations. He's in TNG. In the one with the baryon scan, Starship Mine, as not Tuvok. Yeah, absolutely. But
he's in DS9 as a Klingon, as not Tuvok. Are they Tuvok?
I don't know. I don't have much to say about this performance.
I mean, take what he did in flashback, because he was trying to act the part the whole time, right? So he's very much is Tuvok, which is kind of fun. Young in that he. Not a kiss ass, but he wanted, again, from what we saw, he was very much I want to make an impact by going straight to the top, being overly attentive, to try and gain favour. Because that's a damn good ship to be assigned to. The Excelsior. That's one of the top, like, 5 ships of the fleet. And a bridge officer, in that he's obviously doing stuff for the captain, so he's already, you know, substantial in that he's not some random engineer guy who's on deck 64, whatever.
There is no 64 decks.
Yeah, no. Well, unless you watch Star Trek 5, then there's more.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know... What do you say about Tuvok from this era?
Give him an A. Just because he puts his Tuvokiness into it. That's a word now.
This would be a funny one in the future when they remaster it into HD, to do a CGI de-age on the performance. To make
How do you de-age him? He looks pretty young as it is.
Well, because he looks the same as modern Tuvok, right? Just to give that contrast, so that he's pretending to be the younger age. Because otherwise, he hasn't aged in 85 years. And yes, he has, right? It's just that's one of the things that would add a lot to performance. Then suddenly see him be notably younger to then get, because he does act. I mean, I like how he acts, and there is a notable difference of he's reacting to Sulu in a way that's specific. So I would say B, just because I was being a bit too gushy for a character that we didn't really see technically. I'd
say a B.
I'd say a strong B, because I like the vibe, but it's like. Are you gonna override and go low A just because we love Tuvok?
I want to go low A, just put some delineation between what we know about Tuvok, what we saw of him in this era, and Apollo.
Okay.
Like, Apollo was great.
Was great.
I don't know. I'm happy to put it at a B if you think that's what it should be.
I think both are valid. Great answer from me.
We'll put him at B for now. If anybody wants him to be an A, just put A in the chat, guys. Or super chat in with an A.
If anyone wants on the Enterprise B, then put B. And put on Enterprise A. And it is Tuesday, so things should arrive by now.
It is Tuesday. Holy shit. Everything will be showing up.
Yeah. That'd be a funny fan, but just like everything. It's Tuesday. We're cooking Space Post. It's crazy.
All right. Next up, we've got not a band account, $5. General Trelane, retired, sir. Squire of Gothos. Just watched this one like last week sometime. A very over-the-top performance for sure, but you got to take into account that he is not only recording this in the 60s, where there was more theatrical performances, but he's also a child of another species or race, and he's over-exaggerating everything. He's got that kind of arrogant cockiness that a kid that thinks they know everything would have, and it comes across really well. Like, he's a really good kind of, are you challenging me to a duel? Like, he's so full of himself.
He's a great 50-year-old child.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's definitely a performance that's, he's likable until he's not, and then he's menacing as well at the end. He gets quite menacing. So again, it's another villain thing where they can be charming, they can be friendly. He tries to woo one of the ladies as well. Yep. And then his tantrum at the end of the episode, where he's upset that his parents are giving him trouble. So, yeah, it comes across. It's a very interesting performance. It's kind of the gamut of everything. It comes off cool and calculated at first, and then gets a little bit more arrogant and snotty, and then shows his age and his inexperience when facing off against Kirk. So,
he's it's one of the most memorable performances of TOS, but having a god being that's that cohesive is good, because it absolutely straddles the line of silly and serious and threatening, and that is TOS tried a few times. You know, Nomad, trying to be sort of menacing, but it's also a box, so it's silly, but it does straddle, you know, they all straddle various lines. Yeah, flamboyant performance, but he's a creature that created this weird, this weird castles with this cost, like he's being a theatre kid. That's entirely his vibe, right? Right, and he owns it. And yeah, there's such a energy If it's a Q, cool, makes sense. If it's a random alien god being cool. If it's an alien non-corporeal race that can give him powers to be changing matter, because all it takes to look like a god just to change matter. It's not that difficult, you know. It's not like you can necessarily change time or whatever. You know, big forces changes, which would be like a Q thing. So it keeps a nice separation of being. It could be something we know, or just there enough to be whatever, you know. And I mean, performance-wise, like I say, it's one of the top. And yeah, imagine if this character come back in season 3, assuming that was season 1. Imagine a sequel to this guy, kind of like bring Q back when he loses powers. You could, like with Mud, you could do the most amazing second part of his journey. And imagine if he come back in TNG. I mean, he was alive in DS9 because he was playing the other Klingons. Imagine if they brought Trelane back. like you know what I mean? It would have been.
That would have been awesome.
If Cisco warps in, they find a planet beam down, and he pops up like, "Hello," and it's like that would be, you know, oh.
I think he's maybe more memorable than Apollo, but in a different way.
Yes.
Like if you go through a roster of TOS characters, he stands out for sure.
Well, Apollo's also a god. Like he does
Apollo does as well,
to what we know as god. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I kind of said like in a different way.
I mean, for me personally, I'm at least an A because he's excellent. But does he go up to the top?
I was thinking A, so
yeah.
I'm glad you agree with me.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to fight you.
What, away from S or up from B?
Up from B.
Oh, but imagine if he'd been in DS9 as Trelane. Because he was there. He was alive. It would have been a weird one.
Midway through the episode going, what are you doing?
And then imagine Delancey coming in, because obviously they had both. You know, you really could have... Oh... You could have done a thing. Imagine Susie Plaxton like coming up as Lady Q, and this. No, she was Voyager. Okay, that wouldn't quite. Well, no, that wouldn't quite work. But yeah, you could have really had some fun with Trelane. I mean, he's great as a one-off, right? But they could have done. Yeah, it was just. Oh, it's annoying. There's just enough time of separation. They could have had the actors back who were okay to act.
Yep.
Crazy.
All right, Matt Yarrington, $5. Romulan commander from Balance of Terror. Too good for the Romulan Star Empire.
Oh.
Better.
Yeah. Yeah.
There she is there. Okay, good.
Tremendous performance.
Yes. Has a thing for Spock. Well, maybe. She might have just been using her feminine wiles to, like, get him on her side.
Romulan wiles, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, both. But that was quite an interesting idea for the 60s, at least, to even have her as a commander. She definitely... She projected a strength, but at the same time, she was also suffering from the 1960s female thing of... She shows some weakness in the episode, let's put it that way, which I don't think necessarily would have been the case if it was in the 60s. She kind of gives in to Spock a little bit, and it kind of is her downfall. And then she kind of just gives up after she gets... So, it's a great performance. One of my favorite episodes of TOS.
I think we said at the time, the first half...
Yeah.
And then the second half. But they're doing two different things. There isn't really much. Like, you get why they're doing it, but yeah, she very much is commander and then night robe lady, right?
Yeah.
But also, she's allowed to be a woman first, or like second. I mean, she's allowed to have the woman side too. No shade. It's just a bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Romulan commander. Oh, from
Balance of Terror. Well, that was my bad. That was my bad.
Hi, Stuart. So, fuck's sake. Well, we've had the debate for the other one already, so.
Yeah, very stoic.
Thank you, not bad account. Appreciate it.
Yes. Very stoic, Roman-esque. General type. Yeah, they definitely had that going on. The fact that it was in fact, somebody that looked exactly like Spock, and later went on to play his father. It was an interesting take, and yes, he was. This is a good episode just because it is basically a game of chess. It's a submarine battle. It's mind against mind, and he also shows some humanity, pardon the racist slur, but not wanting another war, not sure that they're doing the right thing, but still holding to his orders, doing what he has to do, even to the point that he's going to destroy the Enterprise. A great performance for the very first Romulan we see. I think they kind of changed the Romulans quite a bit after this, but this was the original intention. So,
but also you very much get the sense he is of the older tier of hyper honourable. You know, he happens to be respected. He happens to be whatever because he's this very stoic commander. There are other Romulans on that crew that are not. The younger chap, of course, his mentor is even more like as if essentially, actually, not this was ever part of the story, of course, but as if those that presumably fought either in the Romulan War or around during the Romulan War, they've learned from that, and the further you are away from them, the more like, fuck this, we're going to be...
Yeah.
I like it. Makes sense to me. Cool stuff. I mean, this is obviously an incredible performance. It is kind of a guy performance, because he doesn't feel very alien. And that's not a problem in any meaningful way. He's meant to be super relatable, right? Like, Apollo is not a guy. He's a god. Trelane is not a guy. This is a guy with a strong moral core, sort of. And that kind of poetic spirit and hell of honor. So but it obviously works. I'm just saying it's interesting when he into this contrasty thing. And he does survive until the end, doesn't he? He's the one that... Because does he try and...
Yes. He's the one that gets self-destruct.
Because is there a guy... Does his guy tries a mutiny? Does he throw him out into the rubble or debris? Was that...
No, he throws out the old guy, the mentor, because he got killed in one of the attacks. So he reluctantly puts his body in the debris to, disrespectfully a little bit, but at the same time to further their strategy. So, but yeah, he's talking to Kirk at the end.
What happens to the young guy then?
Could have been friends.
What happens to the young guy challenges him? Or am I adding that
He gets demoted.
Okay.
And sent to his post.
Do you think he dies too?
They all die.
Okay. I love the performance. Is he a nuanced, interesting, big... Or is it just this... I don't know about it. I love him, but again, is that bias because legacy, right? What do you think?
Personally, I enjoy Trelane and Apollo more than him because they got more screen time. He got enough screen time, but I don't feel... He's got the same kind of effect on me as the guy from the TNG episode, The Defector. You'll learn that they're just essentially got the same thoughts as we do.
That's interesting.
They're doing it for duty. They're doing it because of orders. They don't necessarily agree with it. They don't want to bring another war on their planet. I don't know.
That's really interesting. So I would say I think he's way better than Tuvok in this example. So definitionally he has to be in B.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I don't think he can be lower than Tuvok because Tuvok had less screen time and less motivation than this guy. So if that's the position I'm in, I'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll put him in B for now.
Because I could have gone A if you felt strongly about it because he's so nuanced. But like I said, he is just kind of a guy, and you could mitigate him to any other universe because he's not what we associate a Romulan being because he is the first. He does something different. That's lots of things, right?
Yeah. All right. Sorry for getting the wrong Romulan commander. My bad. Not a bad account. $5. President Abraham Lincoln from Excalibur, Captain Kirk's favorite historical figure. Yes. I think he did a really good job with Abe Lincoln, honestly. But I'm not a big fan of the makeup, especially in the remastered. It clearly looks like stage makeup, like you're supposed to be looking at him from the seats of a theater. But honestly, the performance of Abraham Lincoln was really good. I liked his message. I liked the way he spoke. He did seem like the Excaliburians knew what the hell Lincoln was about.
Yeah.
And he definitely was better than Kalis, that's for sure.
Who, sorry? I can't hear that all spittle.
No, I said it correctly.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
So yeah, I think I know where I want to place him, but do you have any other thoughts to tack on there?
Yeah, I didn't remember him looking this terrible. This is horrendous makeup.
It's awful with remastered.
I mean, I'm assuming he's much younger than the part, and this is to try and balance that, because, like, why else do that? Why not hire someone slightly older? Because, or they're trying to make him look ridiculously tired. Like, what are they going for here? I'm not quite sure. What do you think they're going for?
Historical accuracy based on photos, I guess.
Well, he was very tired.
Because Lincoln was very kind of ugly, honestly.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know, but why would I know, right? Yeah, I liked the episode. He has some famous little speeches. He has a great vibe. I mean, I associate Lincoln as a possible with him. Like, I don't think much of it. Not that it's necessarily much of a difference, but of course, back then, it was much closer to Lincoln than now. By, 6 decades, and I wouldn't know if no one knew Lincoln, but I feel like historians then cared more about the legacy of Lincoln than now, when the world is so much more everywhere that a lot of people don't give a shit about the older legacy people in the same way. So they probably went for him more faithful than he would do now. I mean, I'm going to go at least C, because I think he'd give a lot of... Probably say C then, because there's... Apollo is more memorable, of course, but he's just such a quality Lincoln, from what I recall.
Yep. I was thinking C as well, so I'm glad you are on board.
Who played this? Because he's so bad makeup.
Well, like I said, it's theater makeup. It's for the stage.
100%.
Maybe the makeup artist at the time had done Lincoln for a performance, a stage, and he just used the same techniques. I don't know.
Lee Bergerie, which ironically, Lincoln is his IMDb picture. Wow, he lived until 2007, born in 1918.
Wow. Interesting.
He last filmed in 1991.
How old was he? So 1918. He was in his 50s, late 50s-ish, I guess.
1918. He'd been 48 in season 1.
So 2 years younger than me. So yeah, they made him look older, first of all. But yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Fleet Paw, $5.
Fleet Paw!
I was fears are belayed.
Yes.
Even though I've been delayed. Funny. A post Star Trek New Jersey. Greetings from all to all. I wonder if I ran into any Trekyardians whilst there. 2-time trivia winner. Yeah, he went to the Convention in New Jersey. And he won 2 of the trivia contests, winning $100 each time. He spread the Trekyards word. He's a good soldier. Thank you, Fleetpaw. I'm glad you're here.
Yes.
Not a bad account, $5. Dr. Janice Lester, Star Trek TOS, Turnabout Intruder. It's not fair. A woman can't captain a starship. This is mutiny. You will follow my orders. So... doing her as her or her as Kirk?
Her as her.
I know. You will follow my orders.
Look, she's a deranged woman, okay? It's fine. We all know deranged women who are a bit deranged. Look, ironically, the problem is not that she was deranged. It's that she genuinely believed that she could replace a Starfleet captain with none of the training, none of the memories, none of the knowledge, entirely different temperament, and get away with it. That shows how deluded she is and she's mentally ill. Everything else explained with that. Just
and the
saying.
fact that she didn't think that women could be captains, because clearly they could. Because that would just be silly otherwise.
That's what I'm saying. She was mentally ill.
Yeah.
But, I mean, good performance.
Her, when she was Kirk, yeah, I like the way that she portrayed Kirk. But yeah, other than that, it's just kind of like a. It's all right. It's all right.
Well, that's what I mean. It was it was so like it was because she's such a good actress that she achieved that level of bullshit, right?
Yeah.
She was believable. Character-wise, obviously terrible, unbelievable and silly, but performance-wise, great. But is that enough to up the rating? Probably not. But she is very memorable because she's the last episode villain. So that is that. But definitionally, you know.
For me, she's only a D.
Yes. I don't know if you're going to force an F, and I was probably going to try and subvert that. Because, yeah, I like her performance. As dumb as it is, it's a good performance. Would have been a hell of a bring back for the TOS movies. I don't know how you do that, but...
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that. Yeah. Oh, it's a super chat on our own channel. Oops. Wrong button.
There you go. Wait a minute, you don't super chat other channels, do you?
No, never have.
Oh, I have.
I would have on a couple if they did it when
If they actually read the fucking messages?
Yeah, that would help if it was guaranteed, yeah.
Oh my god, come on. I hate this goddamn program. It's fine. Whatever. All right. Matt Yarrington, $5. General Chang, Shakespearean Trek is peak Trek.
Wow, how similar to Khan. Because they both Shakespeare it up. Kind of. Or like Shakespearean style it up.
Well, this is a top-notch character, just all around. Fantastic actor. The Shakespeareanness is definitely drawn into the character, written into the character, and it's great to have a Shakespearean actor playing him, a legendary one at that. Comes across as menacing, evil, mysterious. How do you get that scar, or how do you get the eye patch? Well, you play Klingon Academy, you find out, but it's fine. Yeah. And the fact that he also did that for Klingon Academy, I mean, that's pretty cool. Performed with Shatner in Stratford, which is neat. Yeah. Of calm Klingon, though. Not the typical gruff, barbaric kind of Klingon that we see a lot of the time. Definitely a more cultured Klingon. I don't know how to describe him, because he's not really Klingon at all. In his tactics and stuff, as well as his presentation, he comes across very gentlemanly, which you don't see from a lot of Klingons. So,
well, you see why he raised the top, because he is of a unique breed. He is smart, he's strategic, he can play both sides of the fence of being charming and then suddenly yell if he needs to, right? He can bring out that emotion. He has a keen intellect. The fact that he's willing to potentially sacrifice the Empire for the glory of the Empire, which is the whole premise, right? He wanted to work with Starfleet to cause a war which would either make them lose or win. Because, of course, if they'd won said war, they would get Federation resources and they could then survive. That's the irony, right? There was actually a really strong upside, but risking absolutely everything for that. But also, if part of victory, if part of glory is dying with honor, what's there to lose, right? But yes, firing while cloaked, innately unhonorable, but winning at the fate of your people is very, very vulnerable. So it's kind of like, if you can, it's like and in fact I wrote this a few weeks ago. A Vulcan can lie if they don't think it's lying. So he can think it's honourable if he understands honour as being the grand success and victory of his entire people. So I get that, right? I mean, clear as guy's an S, right? We're just being overly positive. But he's wonderful nuance and instantly gives you a range of Klingon emotion to play. Now you can have a quiet, introspective Klingon, but he's of a sort of unique breed. And like I say, you see why he got right to the top.
And he also, at some point, suffered from the augmentation virus. Doesn't have a very ridged head at all.
Yeah, and no sensory information like the Discovery Klingons to justify it. Just a little ponytail and, But yeah, he's obviously like top 5, and we always put him that high. And he's good in the game too. You know, it's worth watching that movie. It's a good movie, as in the combined version of the game into the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing looks quite as high fidelity because, of course, it's not. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, top notch.
So why do we only have villains in our S tier? Guys, you're forgetting about the regular crew as well. There was like, I don't know, Kirk?
Who?
Some Spock guy?
What?
Anyway.
What?
They're going for the deep cuts, some of them.
Yeah. I saw, I did them. Hey, some great choices.
Fleet Paw, $5. The Telosian Keeper. He felt sorry for Vina and was trying to give her a good life. Yes.
Or just a life.
Yes. He was also a she.
Mm-hmm.
An old lady. Well, not old time, I guess, but...
Semi-old.
Yeah. Very great introduction to an alien from Star Trek, because the cage, right? Mm-hmm. Loved the makeup. The large head with the pulsing vein in the skull. Very good look. Yep, very also diminutive in their size. That's why they had women do it. So super powerful in a mental capacity. Could invoke pain on people just through illusion. And well performed. Very calm. And also scared. Like when they got pulled into and Pike had them like with his hands around their throat. They did a really good job of portraying that. So the very first Star Trek alien besides Spock, I guess. I don't know where I want to put them though.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a very memorable performance. It's a good makeup. It's weird. It's classic. It's classic but distinct. The costume's good. It all comes together as a really effective and simple thing. The voice is kind of creepy, even though it's sort of just their voice with a bit of modulation. Yeah, it's a memorable, interesting performance that you kind of wonder, you know, do they have any sort of warp? Don't know. No idea, right? Everything's kind of self-contained. No reason to think they do. They just have very, very good mental powers that I assume based on... Yeah.
They destroyed their planet and were driven underground and then developed their mental powers underground because their planet wasn't habitable anymore.
Yeah.
So I would assume they would have at least had our level of technology. Yeah.
Because they don't have they have an elevator.
They do.
But as we know, as great in the episode, you think, oh, their rock, their metal is so strong, it can... No,
you blew through that right away.
Yeah, instantly. So I love that idea. I love the way it cuts at the end. It's really, really fun. And even their force, like they don't have force fields, they have glass, right? But I think there's also, you know, they can also project the idea of being in a cage because I assume they can passively send mental images. So you can just have like 3 or 4, you know, got the guards that change rotation. They're just actively and then passively pushing the idea of whatever. Got a decent amount of screen time.
Yeah.
At least a C, surely.
Yeah, I was thinking C. I don't think B's good. C's, I think, a good place to put them.
Yeah, iconic for different reasons.
The OG.
And did come back for Menagerie.
And Discovery. Anyhow, moving on. Tab Extra, 50 krona. Thank you. Krug's pet dog from Star Trek 3, who Kirk probably killed?
Yep.
Well, no, it died from the battle. So it was already dead. Kirk didn't kill it, per se.
Well, Kirk's actions caused a spark and burned to death or whatever it was. It was pretty...
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah. Although, given lower decks, very small for a Targ.
Yeah.
It's been a puppy.
Also, probably. Also doesn't have the same horns and stuff, so they haven't grown yet, or it's just a different breed of It's like dogs. There's a pug, and then there's a German Shepherd. They're all dogs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've always liked this dog. As silly as it is, it's like it's nice. It's deliberate, a funny choice to give a villain a pet.
Yeah.
In a movie that doesn't need it, but when it dies, you generally feel sad. So it actually is very successful, and it humanizes him in a way that just being a dick wouldn't. So it's actually a very successful character in how it's utilized. As if the only episode of Enterprise was the Porthos episode. Like, you get a lot about the character from the one episode.
I want to give it an F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's a great DVD commentary where the actor that played the Targ kept talking, but it wasn't quite enough to turn it for me. Yeah.
I think that's worth an F on this particular chart.
Yeah.
Olivia Julius, $5. The poor planet manager that quits, or the plant manager that quits smoking when two strangers give him the formula for transparent aluminum. Star Trek: The Voyage Home. Ah, yes. Forget his name. He had a name, and there was funny. There was a guy dressed as him at STLV.
Mm-hmm.
The guy quit smoking. Button on.
Can't say I've ever noticed that.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that all the time.
Least important thing in the scene. I mean,
who's holding a cell phone in front of him? Who showed him a cell phone?
Yeah, this is a thumbnail from because
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I didn't even see that when I did the thing. I mean, he's a good character for his ultra small appearance.
He's the inventor of transparent aluminum, man.
Probably.
He's an important figure in history.
Unless he got killed before he got fully released or something.
Or Elon Musk bought his company and took all the credit for it.
Well, no, because Musk wouldn't have been around because the eugenics war probably would have led to. Well, you say that Musk High School.
I'll give him an F.
At
most a D.
Yeah, he's better than Kalis. Because he's a good character, good scene. Every line delivers pretty much gold. In that one scene, he's humouring him. Yeah,
give him now, Madeline.
Yeah, give him a D. He's a really good little guest spot.
Sam wants to give this guy the D. Okay.
Well, I want you to give him a D because you're moving him. So I want you to give him the D.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes. Hail Kaon.
Indeed, Hail Kaon. All right. Keith Jeffrey, 1974, £2. Over the top, but perfect for TOS. I think he put that in when we were talking about Trelane.
Yes, yeah.
Schmobody, $5. Colonel Worf, Star Trek VI. He did his best. But we all knew that trial was rigged.
Rigged? How dare you?
Where is Colonel Worf?
Right there. Oh, I didn't.
Oh, thank you. You have to move all around, otherwise the thing's so small I can't put the shit. I hate this program. I don't know if I've said that before. Anyway.
Once.
Okay. Yes. I don't know if he would have been a lawyer, but I think he was a military lawyer.
He's a colonel, so.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about it. Made no attempt to disguise or change his voice at all. Shame on Michael Dorn.
Oh, I think he's less growly. I think he was notably clearer spoken because he's his lawyer. Because he feels less made up. The way his ridges are is very not subtle, but they're just gentle. It's more Michael Dorn, ironically, than Worf, is what I get from it. So
I'll give him a C. That's my thought.
Yeah, he's a good Klingon in that he's a strong-willed chap who actually felt, for as little as he was in it, felt like he was actually defending them genuinely. Like, he didn't feel like a faux lawyer. Like, he was actually doing his job, and he was trying to help them, and he was annoyed it didn't work out. And it's a great little cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
think. C?
Yeah, because he. I was going to say D probably, but C is good because he also shows more balanced Klingon in a movie with a lot of varied Klingon archetypes. So yeah, he adds to the pantheon. And it's nice to see, you know, the Worf legacy. Like, you see him being important. Because this will be a very important trial. The defense of the guys that killed your Chancellor. In a time of almost loss of the... Like, that's the guy they call, right?
In the Cold War era setting.
So,
yeah.
Mulg is pretty important.
Schmobuddy again with $5. Tully and Soran, Star Trek Generations. They say time is the fire in which we burn.
And for clarity, he's only in a bit of the movie in the TOS era, so we can only look at him from the TOS bit, because otherwise he's a TNG villain. This is not a TNG review. So, what do you think of Soran in the TOS scene?
I mean, he's determined. He's driven to get back aboard the ship so that the energy driven can destroy him and he can get in there. So he's not that great, let's be honest. As the whole character, that's different. But if you're going to cut it like that, yeah, it's not very memorable. So,
otherwise, every character from that movie could count.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't ever notice that is totally the cut is the shape of the Nexus.
Yeah.
No, noticed that before. That's obviously a choice. It could have been also a little bit higher, but yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's an idiot. Especially as if the whole point of it is just blow up, take a shuttle of any of the years, it's not that difficult. But also
they try to write that away. Every shuttle or ship that's gone near the Nexus has been destroyed, and you can't beam into it. And they try to glaze that over, but
yes, but Kirk gets killed because his ship bit gets tendril destroyed. So
yeah, I know.
If being destroyed does not get you in.
Well, in theory, the tendril cut part of the ship away, so he was exposed to the vacuum of space and got sucked in that way. He didn't get destroyed. He didn't get blown up. Like, if the ship blows up around you, there's a chance you probably might not get into the Nexus.
Okay, so it's easy. You forward shields at full, you zoom in, and you jump out the airlock.
Yeah, something like that. That would work.
It's super easy. Barely every inconvenience. But I also like the performance in that he's not this broken from being on a ship that was being rocked by a Nexus, right? That's not why he's feeling this way. He's feeling this way because he was just in paradise
for a second, yeah.
And that could have been for years, where all of his people got killed, like most of them. All this horror, and then he's suddenly back on this horrible, let's assume not very nice looking ship with the refugees, and that's actually really, I totally get the performance when you think of it in that way. It's actually a really good performance for that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to remember that. Yeah, this is the first time experiencing Nexus. He's like, I got to get back there. So he's not driven to get to the Nexus at this point. Like, this is the reason. This is the catalyst for the character we see later. So yes.
I'll go D in the same logic as the guy from 4. Great in his role, but not a lot of depth.
Okay. Just waiting for the program.
Chug, 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 chug. Yes.
There we go. Okay. Fleet Paw, $5. Female Romulan commander from Enterprise Incident. We'll put her up because we started, but I want to hear the rest. Well, we were kind of done.
We were very close, yeah.
Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Where'd she go?
Oh, I killed her because my brain said, oh, you've done that. 1 second.
We'll get her right back.
After this message from our sponsor.
In the meantime,
we have no
yes,
sponsor. Here we are.
Here's my... I'm the sponsor. Hit like.
Oh, my God.
Buy a like with a $5 super chat.
Oh.
Wait a minute. No, hit like. Buy a character with a $5 super chat. There you go. Yeah. Very good character, like we said at the beginning of the episode. A little bit blah near the end. And then at the very end, she kind of holds her own again and kind of gets control back of her ship. So it causes the other Romulans to stand down, basically. Yeah.
How Romulan does she feel now in the tapestry of Romulans that we have and know?
She feels less Romulan than the commander from Balance of Terror. She's not Tal Shiar, let's put it that way. I think she's probably a good Romulan commander, but she's not like a Tal Shiar operative with the kind of hard edge, you know? I don't know. That's a very good question.
And that's interesting. Yeah, I do agree. She's not as duplicitous. She feels more like a genuine military commander who is good at her job. I bet you she's very good in a space battle. As in, she comes with good ideas, commands her crew well, but espionage is not her forte. And obviously, she was not espionaging on purpose. That was Kirk was espionaging, right?
Yeah.
And it was a coincidence that she liked Spock, as in that was happening to that commander, I believe. As in there wasn't.
Say that again.
There's a coincidence that she happened to fancy someone like Spock. They didn't deliberately try and find that ship or vice versa. It was a
no. They didn't try to find the Enterprise, but she knew about Spock because they had studied him essentially. So it was just luck that he kind of fell into her lap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to give her a B.
I'm leaning towards B as well because she's also excellent. Does she have more screen time than Romulan Commander from Balance Terror? I
think so, maybe.
Or about the same. It's got to be very, very close.
I think she's got more.
Because she has a good amount at the start. He factors in throughout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're both very good in different ways. I think she feels more Romulan than him, probably. Because she's more into the subterfuge at the start. But then less Romulan by the end, because she's just, horn dog. But also, Romulans are very emotion-filled, right?
It's true. Interesting. Yeah, I think B's a good spot for her for now.
Yeah.
All right, Benjamin Stone, 5 pounds. Beale, questionable Roddy Piper makeup, but it's the intense manic acting of Riddler from Batman. Ah, yes.
I had no idea this is who it was when I googled it.
Yeah.
Can't say I remember him enough to comment particularly, but...
See, that's the thing. I know him from the 1960s Batman as the Riddler, so when I watch this episode, that's all I see. And he doesn't really...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this episode's not super memorable. It's a basic paper-thin plot of, I hate you because you're different than me. Let's get back to our planet. Oh, our planet's destroyed. Let's beam down and kill each other and just be on a dead planet. I don't remember a lot of the beginning. He does come across as kind of calculated and measured at the beginning, but then you see the hate show through and the irrationalness of all of that, and then he kind of runs funny through the corridors. So I'd give him a C probably.
Yeah, I don't remember him enough to give any ranking. Except the makeup's great. I mean, it's such a cool, simple look.
So intricate, so complex.
With the vaguely ginger hair.
But yeah, unfortunately, all I see is the Riddler. So.
Might be googling. I didn't know he was the. So was he famous for Riddler already, or did he go into?
Oh yeah.
So he was the big star then. He was the big get for the episode.
Yeah, because I think Batman had been on for a few years before. I'm not quite sure when his first appearance was or anything, but I think he's more well known for the Riddler than Beale. But anyhow.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in the 60s, though, so I grew up in the 70s, so I'd seen Batman. Yes, I'd seen Star Trek, but he's in one episode, so I identify him with the Riddler. I don't know how people that grew up watching both at the same time see it. I'd be interested to hear, but... Schmobody, $5. Gorn Captain, TOS Arena. Totally not a guy in a suit. Realism off the charts.
Yeah, no, of course not.
It's better than the Stranging Worlds, Gorn.
Yeah, although I did like the Gorn's appearance in Alien Romulus. They did good in that film.
What?
What?
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
No, Gorn's great. Because he's just being pissed around by these aliens. He's just doing his bit. I think you can imply that he's used to lower gravity. That's why he's so lumbering. So he's not having a fun time anyway. He's smart. And he listens in, of course. Tries to kill Kirk and then doesn't. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it'd be great to see this version without those set impediments. And who knows, right? Maybe we caught him when he was in, if you remember, in Enterprise, the Xindi commander is in like a sun sauna, right? What if this goes in a sauna? And his second in command was leading the ship, and so he's wearing this because he was in a sauna, right?
Oh.
Yeah, he was in the sauna room. That's why he's in a loincloth.
He was in bed. It's his underwear.
That's what I mean. You can so easily retcon this, like very slightly. Imagine like a Family Guy episode showing the other side. He's like, Has, I'll be back for dinner, darling. I'm just going to the sauna. Has. Strips off, puts this on, relaxes. And you know what I mean? Yeah. Be a great skip.
Mellow Connect says S because it's the fight people think of when they think of Star Trek. I think you mean Star Trek, not Star Wars. It's true. It's a very recognizable Star Trek thing that even people that don't watch Star Trek know about. But
I think we should go A because the legacy of this goes beyond most other media and Trek. Yeah. And it's actually a good performance. As dumb as it is, it's more than just a guy in a mask. There is something else to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's dumb, of course, but I think he deserves an A.
Yeah, I was kind of struggling between A and B, but yeah. Fine by me.
Not that many in mask creatures that you think of as more than just a mask. Something special about this guy. Yeah, Trekyardians would have been great to bring him back for a second time. Can you imagine an episode where there are a negotiation, the Gorn is there, part of the negotiation? That'd be an amazing part 2, right? And having a translator on the table and it's translating, it's like Shatner has to work opposite a Gorn in a serious tone. We fought once, Gorn, Captain, but now we have a chance of peace. Yes, I agree. Let's share some food.
Have you been brushing up on your chemistry? Maybe you can build a cannon next time.
Out of a tube and some rocks. Oh shit, I found diamonds.
And some diamonds.
So easy. If they left the stuff around the planet, it's not as if they found that there was pockets of stuff everywhere, right? There's probably a machine gun somewhere. That's the episode of Futurama. There's a Tommy gun like in a rock croft. It's like there's weapons everywhere. Anyway,
it's a video game. There's shit scattered all over the place. You got to pick up.
I mean, it kind of was.
All right, next up we got Area 51. Scotty, brilliant engineer, did a good job in the center seat when he was in charge. Yes, he's third in command of the Enterprise.
Yes.
And a little dramatic sometimes, a little bit cantankerous, also drunk.
Really, sometimes.
Well, he's probably always drunk. He just didn't. It's different levels of Scotty drunkenness. He can't function unless he's drunk.
Right. Well, I wonder if he puts like drunk gas into the air so everyone thinks he's a miracle worker because everyone's slightly tipsy. It's like time goes weird when he's on duty. Wow, I've lost 3 hours of time. Scotty's on duty. What?
That's the scene, Garth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty's great. I love that he explains how he got the title of Miracle Worker by kind of lying to his captain. I mean, hey, if it works, right? But yes, third in command of the ship whenever Spock and Kirk were down on a planet. He was usually in the center seat, and he handled things very well when he was. So Yeah, and he died. He's a red shirt that died and came back to life. I mean, that's worth saying, right?
I mean, well, he's one of the few that vibes his World War military energy. He is controlled. He's sharp, but he's very friendly. He's kind of that. He's a real officer feeling guy. He's zoned in a way that you felt like he was an officer. That not everyone else, of course, did, but you believed he was smart. He was a great, gentle, felt like General Command style. Like he's not going to run a tight ship, but by being friends with his crew.
Let's not forget, he never really spouted technobabble.
No,
it was like I'll sit on the engines if it'll help. I'll nurse them.
Yeah,
he didn't. There was no technobabble back then, really.
Yeah, well, he was given orders, and he would say, "Fix this by doing this," but this is just simple. Yeah, or just do it himself, right? I can do that, Captain. I'll fix the. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want this to go faster, stop talking to me a few times.
Yeah, and definitely he's super loyal to both Starfleet and his crew. Like he's like a consummate team player, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do we give every of the legacies an S sort of by default? Because I think this guy should get an S because he is for being the primary secondary, you really got a sense of who the guy was, even not necessarily by his backstory, but the nuance he gave to his performance, kind of like Geordie. Like he gives a lot to his engineering, which not everyone does.
The funny thing is, if we break these down from TOS series to movies, this Scotty would get an S. I think the movie Scotties would probably get an A.
Which they got less movie, though?
Exactly. And I'm thinking Star Trek V specifically, where I know this ship like the back of my hand. He kind of gets...
Which we find in Star Trek, like, 4, because it's new. But 5, it's not really anymore.
It's a new ship. It's a new build. It's not a refit. It's a new build, so that's fine. Maybe a little bit different, that corridor. Who knows?
But I think he's such a good team player, and there's so much nuance in his performance.
Yeah.
And he had a good range as well, because he was, when he got drunk with that guy, really silly comedy, right? And then when he's on murder guy, like that really different tone as well.
And a little bit cantankerous at times.
Well, you're breaking his goddamn ship.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kirk giving him orders or asking him how much time, and it's like, I can only do what I can do. I told you already. Just leave me alone so I can get this done, please.
Yeah. And let's be honest, given the one particular scene, he loves the ship more than his captain. He'll defend its honor. He cares about the ship.
They said the Enterprise was a garbage can.
Like literally almost literally the flagship. Tut 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 tut.
Well, it's one of the best ships, for sure. The elite, the best of the best. So next up we've got Schmo Buddy with $5. David Marcus, kind of out of left field inclusion overall, but made an honorable sacrifice. There he is. They actually did a really good job of casting somebody that looked like Kirk and Carol. He's got Kirk's facial structure. He's got Kirk's curly hair, but it's blonde like Carol. They did a really good job casting this guy. And yeah, the fact that he didn't know that Kirk was his father, knew that his mom used to hang around with Kirk, but called him an overgrown Boy Scout, and then finds out it's his father, and it's good. It's good. I don't know what it's just not. He wears this sweater like a doofus because it was filmed in the 80s, but that's all right.
Well, he's start. It's a hard part to play because you're. Well, is he even that smart? Because he makes bad choices. I guess he is smart, but he's not that smart, right? He's trying to be as smart as his mum. He's trying to do stuff, but he makes the bad decisions, which obviously being Kirk reckless, right? That's the link there.
Yeah, he's trying to. Yeah.
But also, is he even necessarily one of the scientists? As in, I mean, I know he is, but he's not. We don't know if he's one of the best, right? Because his mum's got him there. He's clearly there with his mum as a team, but he might be, a good C on the scale of scientist.
He wanted to take a shortcut and get things done faster by using the proto matter, but when he says that, I don't know if he's taking responsibility that he did that or they did that as a team.
I always got the sense he went around and just tried.
I did too, but now that I'm thinking about it, the way it's worded, you use proto matter in the Genesis Matrix.
I mean, the mum would know because
it's the only way to get around certain problems. Yeah, so I think that it was probably a team decision. He might have been advocating for it, but I don't know. Anyway,
well, the mum doesn't know. Does she know? I mean, Kirk doesn't know. Like, it was not on the official record, which Kirk looked at, because it's played as a reveal, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, he's a decent character, traumatized New Zealand, who's Kirk is. But I mean, every scene he has it's negative. F Starfleet, they're being dicks. F Khan, they murdered my friends. F, who I thought murdered my friends, let me attack him. F, everything's kind of. He didn't get much time to play. In 4, he's much more. I like him in 4, right? It's sad that he dies. 3, sorry. I kind of wish he lived on. It would have been interesting to play more dynamic. Oh, what are you thinking?
It's a toss up between B and C for me right now.
I mean, compared to Romulan Commander, I think he's a C. He's a good C.
Yeah, high C. Yeah, we'll go high C with him.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe because he's too reactionary, right? He hasn't got the same urgency.
All right, so C it is for David Marcus. Not a band account, $5. Captain of the USS Enterprise, Christopher Pike, played by Jeffrey Hunter. His Enterprise was downgraded and shrunk in the refit. No wonder he's sad. Well, we got a picture of him smiling, so. Yeah, I never got a good read on this guy. I wasn't sure that he should be a captain with the way he's presented in the Menagerie in the Cage. The Rigel battle, it's not super great, but learning that he had lost crew and that he's kind of sick and tired of being responsible for his crew and everybody under his command. I don't think he really gets that back, in my opinion, during the events of the Cage. He's a little more stoic at the end, like he's kind of got a slap in the face a little bit, but I don't know. I never had a good feeling for Pike, and now that Stranger Worlds is out, it's kind of changing, obviously. But yeah, I don't know.
He feels, because he feels like a captain from a different era. He's older than Kirk. He isn't fresh-faced. He's been a captain for a while. He's lived through, I guess, more traumatic time. I have no idea, as just a general captain. But every captain has a huge variety of things that can happen. If he's like Equinox versus Voyager, right? Janeway dealt with her things a certain way. Ransom fell by the wayside because it had other things. If Pike had some worse missions early on, he feels so jaded by them, whereas Kirk either didn't or bounced back. So he kind of feels like he's so tired of being captain because he's had some worse situations.
Well, 50-year-old Kirk from Wrath of Khan kind of felt like him a little bit.
Yeah,
kind of beat down a little. It's the exuberance of youth. You think you're indestructible when you're young, and then you get older and you realize that, oh shit. So I don't know how old Pike was supposed to be.
I mean, 50s, I'd assume.
I would assume so too. But
I mean, the acting's good.
Yeah.
Pretty diverse, but he kind of has one note throughout the whole thing, give or take, right? It'd be nice to see him as a. And boy, if he'd come back in TOS as that would have been as not a burn victim, of course, but like as a hunter.
Yeah.
I assume Jeffrey Hunter said no to coming back as a wheelchair guy, because why would you pay someone that famous to be in a wheelchair? That would have been amazing.
I know he died. He died not long after, so I don't know if he was dead by that point.
Yeah. Oh. I feel like you need to go B for the amount of, at least B, for the amount of depth you felt
least
in the performance. Yeah, I don't want to give him an A, I think, because Gorn is too iconic and Trelane is just really strong, nuanced, layered, fun performance. He is a nuanced, strong, less varied performance. I don't know.
If you guys disagree, you can bump him up or down with a $5 super chat. But yeah, I think B is very fair. I always had a hard time reading Pike when I was younger, so anyway. Fleet Paw, $5. Sarek, child of Skan, child of Soketh, ambassador to the Federation, spouse of Amanda and Perrin, father of Spock, Cybot, guardian of Burnham, Michael Burnham. Fuck's sakes. These run-on sentences you guys do to just describe everything you can in the amount of... It's funny. Okay, so Sarek and TOS. He's very Vulcan, for sure. I don't know. I'm at a loss. My brain's drawing a blank right now for what to fucking talk about.
Yeah, Sarek, I mean, the ultimate disapproving dad, but being stoic enough to only let it show in every single thing you're doing. Yeah. But, you know, strong, proud, a good negotiator. From I believe in that one chat he had in the conference room, etc.
Yeah, and Tab Extra, I agree. Sarek was better in TNG. Yeah, didn't have a lot of screen time necessarily in TOS, but
well, his good scenes were good. His crazy scenes were not as good because they're not him being Sarek; they're him being crazy man. You know, he's very good in the movies because he's then playing like the regal ambassador. Here he's very much the disproven dad who is a proud Vulcan. He is being very much the Vulcan, as you said. He's a very good testimony to it.
He also does show a very loving husband to Amanda, though.
Yeah.
Well, so
even through the Vulcaners, you can kind of sense, because it does take such a certain sort of man to go against your culture, who are mildly quite a lot
racist.
Yeah, speciesist.
Yeah.
So picking her as second wife as well, because the first was a prince lady, second wife. Big move, right? And he lets her be her still, to some extent. He's not truly controlling. He's logically controlling, meaning you can't live in our culture without being something like a Vulcan, but also I want you to be yourself. That's why I fell in love with you, right? So he's respectful. I mean, I feel like in the similar way to some other things, I think A is strong because he is so good as a legacy, and he was so good, irrespective of being Spock's dad or not, that he was brought back constantly, as is TOS doesn't bring people back. The fact he came back in three movies, and then TNG as well.
Don't forget, he also played a Romulan, a Vulcan, and a Klingon.
So the intelligence files say.
Yeah, we just undercover on a diplomatic mission. It's fine. Yeah, I think A is good. I agree with what you said there. Actually, I like that because the movie version of him is him kind of on point. It's like the best version of him. So, Tab Extra, 50 krona. Let's be real. Who did more in the 60s for both female and minorities than the character in Nyota Uhura? Well, she was just Uhura then. She didn't get a first name until 2009. Okay, it was groundbreaking to have her on the bridge and be part of the command crew. She never really got a chance to shine in TOS, though. In the animated series, there's one where the L'Oreal signal, or the Lorelani signal, whatever, where the men got all stupid because of a signal that these women were projecting. She took command, and I wish that was an actual TOS episode. And there is a scene too where she's repairing the communication system, and Spock pops down and says, "Time's of the essence." And she's like, "Look, if you want this done right, I'm basically the only one that can do it. Let me do this." So she kind of puts Spock in his place, being the expert with the communication stuff.
I mean, he can't out-tech her for that.
Yeah. So I don't think she got a huge chance to shine,
or even
ever.
A medium chance to shine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing is, right, you can tell she's thoroughly competent, thoroughly likable. Everyone does like her. She's both intelligent and a woman, as in she's not heartless. She's got a nice broad, she does a bit of everything, just not a lot of everything. So actually she's very well-rounded, but there's no depth within the well-roundedness, right?
And let's not forget, too, that Nomad erased her entire memory and she had to learn everything from scratch again, including, some would think, her memories.
Oh, damn.
Because they had to teach her how to speak from, so her brain was erased.
Goodness.
Yeah. Next week she was fine again, so.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I've never been the biggest fan of Janice Rand, because I think the actress doesn't bring that much to the role extra. I think Nichelle did. She brought something special extra to the role that helps her stand out, even if the character's not necessarily standing out. Right? Same with Walter and
yeah.
They all did something, kind of just something a bit special that made them whatever. But as a character...
And the movies did her dirty, too. They kind of sidelined her in Star Trek 3.
She had nothing to do in 1. But we always loved Nichelle, because she's a lovely lady. I've met her several times.
Yeah.
Appreciated what she had thoroughly. I mean, I would say B, because anything lower is mean. And she did show a pretty broad range of things. One of her best times, of course, Mirror Mirror, when she had to play Mirror, and she does it perfectly, with a very, very toned stomach.
Yep.
So I want to say B, because if you were to supercut her performances, you'd see quite a range, but it'd be very, very short. You know, being the singer, that's super different. Being the comms officer, super different. The tribble scene, that's cute. Being the just on holiday, relaxing, enjoying life, right? That's very different as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's my vote.
That's a tough one. I agree with you, but I have a feeling if we put her at B, people are not going to understand why we did. But we just explained it, so watch that. Like I said, she did get a really good episode in the animated series. There was going to be a really good episode as well. That was for TOS that was written, where they went down to a planet where basically McCoy played her slave, because on the planet the darker skinned people had slaves. And DeForest Kelley loved the script because it was really good, and it got chemistry between McCoy and Uhura, and it was a Uhura focused episode. And he was sad that it was dropped because the network didn't want to risk that kind of analogy going on the air. So, yeah. But unfortunately, yeah. We'll just leave it there.
Yeah. It's interesting when Sulu and such turn up, because they're all different in how much they do and don't do.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
Schmo Buddy, $5. Fleet Admiral Cartwright lasted 2 movies, ended a traitor, totally not Sisko's dad. Ah, yes. Cartwright.
A good guy and a bad guy.
He was good in Star Trek 4. And in Star Trek 6, yeah, it's a traitor.
And refused to say a racist line because...
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. I mean, hey, commanding. I mean, he's what Admiral should be, but what character has he got, right? Unfortunately, he's just what the role needed, but what is the role? The role is Admiral.
Yeah.
And what are you doing for?
He was at the command center. He told them to brace the windows, and
Oh yeah.
He was standing with Sarek when Sarek's like, "Look," and the bird of prey's there. He didn't do a whole lot.
No.
Star Trek 6 definitely had more.
Was he a known actor at the time? I assume he was.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, I'd probably say I gotta give him a D.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But we love him.
We do.
Yeah.
Did a great job as Sisko's dad, for sure. Okay. Next up, we've got Benjamin Stone with £5 and message retracted. Starting to read your message when you retracted it, and I can't remember what it was about, but thank you, Ben. Schmo Buddy, $5. Captain Sulu, Star Trek 6. Prime Sulu outside Star Trek 3 and 4 should have gone with the series. So you're talking just specifically Captain Sulu. Captain Sulu was great as a captain. He should have had a series. Should have been captain sooner. There's actually a scene in the motion picture they cut out where he was talking to Kirk on the travel pod. Or was it no, it was Star Trek 2. Where he talks about going into the command. Yeah, Star Trek 2. Yep. Any chance to go aboard the Enterprise, and they cut it. And there's a whole bit after that where he's like going to get his own ship. But Shatner
George can't get that opportunity. No, we must cut it for posterity.
I always thought that there was something cut out there because it's like any chance to go aboard the Enterprise, and then
dot.
Yeah, and I saw a thing like a couple years ago that talked about what was actually filmed for that. Anyway,
very commanding, strong, stoic, proud. He feels like the sort of captain that he will make a choice and stick with it, even if it goes against all the rules. Because once he's committed, he's in. And that's a certain amount of balls to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he owns that chair. Wish he had another movie, or anything else. I still don't know.
We got flashback.
We got flashback. Very true. But I mean, he looked like himself for a long time. It would have been a popular series. A Wrath of Khan series. They could rebuild the bridge. They had all the set designs from the other movies. They could easily do it, and it would have been a success. Captain Sulu Excelsior show. Easily. Still don't know why they didn't do it.
I still think it's fair to say that Captain Sulu, specifically, I would probably rank higher than Sulu. Because Sulu in the series every week was something new. It was either botany, weapons collecting, fencing, whatever. He never really got a feel for anything. I do like that he stood up and said, I don't want to use a katana sword because that's kind of racist. I don't want to use a fencing foil. But yeah, I think Captain Sulu is a better character than Sulu. Because Sulu was usually just a part of the away team, would usually get comatose or captured or whatever.
Or very cold in a blanket.
Yeah, just send a shuttle down, guys. I don't know. I think an A is appropriate for Captain Sulu.
Yeah, partially legacy factor, of course. But yeah, he's just so good in that. Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, or you guys think I'm wrong about Captain Sulu being a little bit higher ranking, not just in rank, but like in tier list rank, as Sulu from the original series, let me know, because I might not have put that into words as eloquently as I should have. I got a little bit of a brain fog today, in case you can't tell. Fleetpaw, member for 55 months at the rank of Commander. My favorite Uhura scene was between her and Mr. Adventure. She commanded that scene. 100%, yes. I love Mr. Adventure eating out of my hand. Didn't say it with the palm of my hand. And I'll see you at the rendezvous point. And Admiral, all my hopes. Yes. But then she gets sidelined for the rest of the movie. Shows up on Vulcan.
That is crazy, that one. That is crazy.
Yeah.
But we're so biased. Every film should have been all of them doing something meaningful.
Yeah.
Every film. And it kind of needed a higher up in Paramount telling the production, telling, Nimoy, like right from day 6 of production, like scripting. It's like, we want to make sure that we're selling lots of Kirk and Sulu and Scotty action figures. Make sure every character gets at least one, if not 2 moments to do something important. Every character. And if that single objective had come down the line, that would have been a notable, thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for TOS, it was the structure of shows at the time that there was like 1 or 2 leads to a show. Star Trek had 3 with Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, so they kind of got the meat of everything. Everybody else was just,
And it was normal. It's not to say that was unusual. And most shows aren't ensemble even now. As in, like, how many shows actually...
It's way better now, though. They try to have ensemble shows.
But that many people? Imagine having every crew member, on the bridge.
And the Orville does a good job.
All does.
TNG did a fantastic job. Benjamin Stone, 5 pounds. Chekhov's wig in Cat's Paw and other episodes. It dominated the scene it was in. Retracted my super chat on Pike. Oh, you should have just left it in. But yes, Chekhov's. We don't have a picture of Chekhov with his wig. This is actually after he grew his hair. The reason he wore a wig in those early episodes was because the monkeys was a big thing, and Davy Jones, I think, is the name of the monkey character. They wanted him to be like that for the younger audience. There it is.
Horrendous.
Tribble on his head.
That's real bad.
Real
bad.
And then he grew his hair out, and we got that.
It's much better.
It is. And he was added because of the Russian thing,
And because George couldn't shoot every episode, they introduced a new person there.
That's the other thing, yeah.
So George hated him because he took his money, but he couldn't do it, right? But then they shared the stage and they became friends and unfriends.
Yeah.
The thing about Chekhov, though, is that the accent is so memorable. It's a thing, right? But also the fact that they're one joke, and it's such a good joke, everything we invented in Russia, is actually a bit. Like, did Sulu have a bit? I don't think he had a bit.
Oh my! And that wasn't a thing back then. So
I think he had a distinct bit, and him being young, he was very flirty. Like, he actually had more characterization. Ironically, I think, in a lot of ways than Sulu did.
He was there for sex appeal. They brought him in for the younger female demographic.
He was the 7 of 9 of the show.
Chekhov off. I said that. Yep. Okay. Anyway, sadly, didn't get so much to do. But yes, he had a thing. He had a hook. Everything was invented in Russia. Or smartass comments like, "So close we could smell them."
And also, he wasn't playing himself. Like, Koenig is not like Chekhov. Koenig is very quiet and demure. But Sulu is more like Takei. They're closer, so he actually acted more, which I think should be a mark. Like, I like Sulu. I think this guy had more character.
I still think he's only a B, though.
Nope, B was what I was thinking. Yep, can't be too generous because they would not give him much. I mean, if you start breaking down screen time, is a 1-episode hero, do they get more lines than a regular? Probably not, but if you take out all the lines of, well, Factor 3, Captain, if you take out those lines, which anyone could say, right? How many character lines do they have? Does Apollo, Romulan Commander, do they have more? I don't know. It could be close, because they're the heroes of their episodes, right?
Well, it's funny because there's an actor by the name of Billy Blackwood, which I've talked about before. He's in almost every episode of TOS.
Yeah.
He's on the bridge. He's in Chekhov's spot quite a few times. Every time we see him, we call Billy. He also plays some aliens and stuff. He was kind of a stunt guy, background guy, but I would be so pissed if...
I don't even know.
I don't know either. But I would be so pissed if I was him because you're literally in more episodes than any of these guys. And you don't get to go to the movies. You don't get to... it's fine. I was hoping somebody would ask for Billy. Most people know who he is.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh,
Not a bad.
Oh, yeah. Okay, interesting.
Not a band account. Member for 32 months at the rank of lieutenant. Was Sarek so stoic in his introduction because he was mourning the loss of his adopted daughter?
Shut your sin mouth.
Was a lively martial art. Younger Sarek was a lively martial artist.
Band. Yes, a band account. Imagine if we could change the name of people. Like, you are now the official band account. What? Yes. Yes.
And Benjamin Stone says, I can't see Chekhov without 7 of 9's outfit now. Thanks, Trekyards.
You are welcome. So, guys, we're nearing the end. Any quick fire ones you want to throw in? Every 5 will help us a lot. I mean, you've seen what the graphics do next to us. There's a load of amazing ones left.
Oh, I know.
Properly amazing.
Hello, Wesley. How's it going? Good to see you. All right. Tab Extra throws in 100 krona. Captain Kirk versus Admiral Kirk versus demoted Kirk. 3-in-1 ranking. But isn't 100 krona only $10? I don't know. It doesn't matter. So we have this Kirk. I assume that's for Admiral Kirk. Even though he was Admiral all the way to Star Trek 4.
Yes, but this is the Admiral being Admiral versus... I'm really a captain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. I feel you. So this is a guy that accepted the promotion. I think he's kind of learned that it's not quite what he was looking for, especially after seeing the Enterprise and going aboard the refit. And yes, he handpicked William Decker, but very much regretting it. He's missing the captain's chair already. And that was, 18 months prior to this? I think he got promoted. Yeah, I'm not even going to get into it. Anyway, regardless. So you got the promotion, you got the rank, but you don't have the satisfaction. That really starts to show in Star Trek 2, where he's questioning that he's old at 50 in the Star Trek universe. Let's think about that for a second. I'm 50, and I sure as hell don't feel like I'm 50. That being said, I haven't done all the things that Kirk did, so
They've never been
it's not the age, it's the mileage, as they say.
Yeah, never been space battled or had the weight of a universe.
Yeah.
And you've never had men. Well, you had a couple of Green Orion slave girls dance near you, but that's a different channel.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he shines as soon as he gets in the chair in the motion picture. He's like, "This is where I need to be." And I love how Will Decker kind of sees it. He's like, "You just wanted command of the Enterprise." He's like, No, I'm just doing my job. They need somebody experienced for this." So, yeah. Kirk's complicated. Because, in Star Trek 2, as an admiral, he's worn out. He's tired. Takes the Enterprise on a training cruise. Even though Spock's technically the captain, but Spock's
he's happy to let it. It's like,
yeah, Spock sees just sit in the goddamn chair.
But he's also a captain by rank, not by job. Really, like he's an instructor. He's not there to captain a ship. He's there to captain a crew in this specific style of mission. It's a little bit,
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like he'd probably politely decline doing an actual mission, right? But yeah, I mean, the Admiral Kirk character, he's a worse admiral than his captain, clearly.
Yes.
But it'd be nice to have seen him as an admiral doing a fleet command, not clearly what was given to him, pencil-pushing bureaucracy. He was clearly given stuff he didn't want to do, and that got on his pecs. He didn't like that after a while. But couldn't he sort of maneuver himself into getting a posting that he liked? Is the Admiralty so unpowerful?
Well, he did.
Well,
he did.
But before this, like, but not universe end, like planned ending, something slightly less serious, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have done smaller missions that were less. I lost the captain and the science officer, and I gained a new science officer, and I gained.
At least they didn't send him to milk space whales, you know.
And get blue milk from a different franchise. Admiral Kirk has lots of flaws, right?
Yes.
But he's nuanced, and he's very good in Star Trek 1. But Captain Kirk's got to be a higher ranking, right? And I think there's enough difference between Admiral that he was wrong to be Admiral. That I want to give Admiral Kirk an A, so I want to give Captain Kirk an S when that comes up.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Kirk was made to be captain.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I've never accepted the promotion to admiral, personally.
Yeah. Exactly. It all makes sense.
Of course it does. Next up, we've got... Oh, the other Kirks, I guess. Are we looking at them all?
I mean, Captain as well.
So we're looking at TOS Captain Kirk or post Star Trek 4 Captain?
Oh, in TOS as well, because they put in 2. Go the first 2. Okay. You're right, there is kind of 3 Kirks.
The Tale of 3 Kirks. So we've got TOS Captain Kirk. Young, optimistic most of the time, brash, tends to, because he has to wait for Starfleet, tends to make decisions which are usually what Starfleet would approve of. Definitely good for the captaincy. The youngest captain at the time.
Well, I'd love to know by how much, how many years or even months. So I wonder if it was, by a few, because, he's not that young. Like,
he was 34 when he got his captaincy.
That's pretty young. But I wonder if the guy was 35, or because they're kind of like 45 and he was 10. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been interesting to know the metric. Because anyone's the youngest, even if it's by 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Just I'm interested to know.
Not a womanizer, despite what people think. He was just charming. He used that charm when he needed to protect his ship and his crew. In some cases, that needed to romance somebody. He wasn't a womanizer as bad as everybody thinks he is. That's kind of painted with that brush. And if you actually look at the episodes, he's not. I think he'd be kind of useless without Spock and McCoy, though, because they are all kind of a whole, different parts of a whole, and he's the one that takes their advice on, but he had to get the captaincy without them as well, so you got to take that in consideration.
Because he's street smart. He's not necessarily book smart. But he's also, as a lot of captains should be. He was
described in the Starfleet Academy as a walking stack of books.
But which books?
Probably all of them.
Well, at least he can read. Because an engineer is not going to read all the science manuals. That's why you have specialties. So I'm guessing he was, a team leader, command track. They did say we did apart from that, but. Yeah, he's different sort of smart. So he's not going to have the science solution. He'll have basic knowledge as they should all have, but he's not going to be... And certainly can't doctor people, right? That's why I say why he relies on his team. But he's a very good delegator, as a team leader should be. Using... not having the ego, as weird as that sounds, for Kirk, to say, I don't know this, Spock, you do this thing. Because by you doing the thing in half the time, it lets me do my job quicker. Versus being Michael Burnham, who does everything herself... etc. But yeah, he's shockingly dimensional. Yes, we already say that. Because he's a really interesting character. Amazing performance, nuanced. He loves who he loves, but he'll womanize if he has to.
He loves his ship most of all.
Yeah. He's born leader. Amazing.
Because he loves his ship, we love him, because we're Trekyards and we love ships too.
Yep. Very much.
Fleetpot Swiftback, $5. Christine Chappell and her lust for a certain half Falcon science executive officer.
Yeah, she's tricky because she is a character and kind of isn't at the same time, right?
Yep. There's not much to the character in TOS, let's be honest. Got a thing for Spock, wants to take care of him. She's a yes man to Dr. McCoy. She's the right-hand man to Dr. McCoy. And, yeah, there's really not much to her in TOS, let's be honest. Sad but true. I'd probably give her a C.
Yeah. Unlike a lot of other doctory characters, she feels like a subordinate nurse who, what I associate, she grabs the tools for the doctor.
Yeah.
She's not the kind of nurse that, from what I can recall, will actively suggest many things to help the medical side, which would give her more urgency. Like, I would love to have seen episodes where she was the doctor in the scene and not McCoy, because she had all the skills, just she was a nurse. Yeah. Now, that said, you need really good nurses, but nurses just to do basic things to help the doctor is not the character you necessarily need. She's given a decent amount of screen time, of course, because she's the love interest of the showrunner. But yeah, I mean, C is probably being somewhat generous as well. But yeah, I mean, C for legacy, right? And she's a good nurse, but she's a nurse.
She made a better computer.
Yes. But she also had, 35 years of doing it and whatever. And I met her once. Very old looking, and I wish I remembered it more. But I was medium young. But I did meet her, technically. I don't think I said hi to her necessarily, because she was doing a booth, but I know I was very close to her. I'm sure Dad said hi. I don't know if I was young enough to say hi, be confident about it. Yeah. Very old.
Ozzy, $5. Rest in peace, Tony Todd, a.k.a. Worf's brother. Yes, indeed.
Will be missed. Too young.
Yes. Matt Yarrington, $5. Lieutenant Hadley. You're right, Captain. He deserves to be on the list. And in the movies. Billy. Yes. I do want to give him an S because...
No, you don't. What? Why?
He's in every fucking episode of TOS.
Every episode?
Pretty much, yes.
What's up with his neckline? Why is his black so
tight?
Yeah, it's so tight. God.
I didn't know his name was Yarrington, though. That's interesting.
See, you don't even know the guy's name.
Lieutenant Hadley. Sorry, not Yarrington. Matt, I thought he was you. No, I didn't know it was Hadley.
That's who I googled, right? Be serious, oh Stuart pal.
D.
Okay, we're going. That's the last one, but thank you.
D.
Fine. Because he's better than a
He
dog.
deserves better than that. Every time I see him, I'm like, Billy!
You do. I have heard you do that before.
We scream that in TOS quite often. Me and Sylvia watch it. It's like, hey, there's Billy. It's always fun to find him.
Do you scream that later at night as well, Billy?
No. She doesn't scream Billy.
No, you.
No. You're awful. You're an awful human being.
Billy. Right, next.
Tab extra. 200 krona. Fine. I should have given the character of Kirk a bigger chat donation.
Which brings us to the Star Trek 4, 5, and 6 Kirk. Because it's fair, it's kind of similar to 3. Kind of. Now, is he better, worse? Back to Captain.
He's better. He's TOS Kirk with...
age.
Yeah, seasoning. Respect the hell out of Captain Kirk.
Would you say?
Yes, he's tempered by age and experience. He's not as brash as the young Kirk was. He's learned from his mistakes over the years, I think.
His son? It wasn't actually his mistake, but...
Death of his son, losing his best friend, losing his ship. He lost everything that was important to him.
Probably losing Carol, although never talked about it.
Got them all back instead of except his son, right? So he's thankful for that, and I think he's very tempered now. he's not as rash with his decision making. I think it's a way more measured approach to things.
I also think he's probably more. I feel like kind of also because they've evolved as they went along. TOS Kirk, the war side, he wasn't really feeling. He was having the fun of living on a ship, doing his ship things. But this Kirk, he's commanded during so much war, even Cold War, that he's tired of it in a way that young Kirk isn't.
Yes.
And that's not, so he's more inclined to not want to fight. I don't think young Kirk would say, "Hail them back, we surrender. We surrender." Like that, the way he did that was so seasoned.
Yeah.
Big picture. Because he could have just walked away, right? Or fired, I mean, boy, bloody hell, but fired some more, right? Because their ship was pretty damaged from that one assault, right? Like, but the way he said it.
Yes.
But also a lot less to do than TOS Kirk and pure screen time. But he's good in 5, he's good in 4, he's good in 6, he's okay in 7. Too many horses in 7. Go on then, you old Canadian, you.
And he gave Picard the best advice he learned from experience. Don't let them promote you.
Until he was in Picard and Odex, and then he.
Sergeant Montgomery, $5. Here's hardcore Fenton mud in your face.
Oh, I said the last one, guys. Oh. I mean, thank you, yay, but okay, not a banned account. You last one. Stop.
Yeah, that's it.
But also,
so I just rewatched. I watched Mud's Woman 2 days ago, and I was thinking, when we do this ranking, where am I going to put him? And as a character actor, he's great. He brings this pirate lowlife to life, and he does a really good job with it. Not only that, but he's also not completely a lowlife, because he does kind of know right from wrong. He just chooses to ignore that half the time. I think in I, Mud, he's a little bit more funny and a little bit more like, oh, I'm a recurring character now.
Well, he's not selling women.
No, he's building them instead.
Exactly. Much less weird.
I think as far as character beats go, he's definitely a B. I don't think he's quite an A. I mean, he's memorable. He's as memorable as Trelane, but he's also in 2 episodes. Oh, maybe he should get an A. Oof. No, I don't know. Now I'm confused. Help me. Help me, Sam Kenobi.
So, I like him, but Trelane, I think, he does a lot more for me in his 1 episode than he does in 2. That's personal preference, and both his episodes are good. Is Mud. Him being more menacing in the first one, more so in the second one. Well, the second episode is not him that steals the show; it's the things around him. Which is not a problem. It's a big episode and lots of stuff's going on, but it's not him. Like, he's not quite as good as he could have been because so much else is going well. The jokes, the robots. It's not a problem, right? But he's sort of there more than he's the center. The first one, he's, whatever. I think you can forget about him and TOS sometimes because he's also pirate guy. Yeah. Trelane is more distinct. So I want to give him a very strong B, just I think Trelane is just a stronger note. Even with 2.
Yes.
Okay.
We're not going to get to yours, Matt Yarrington. Sorry. We already said last one was not a banned account. So
I'll put him on the board, though, because clearly we've not even dealt with a good amount of them. So we'll do a part 2 on this.
Yeah. So we'll look at her next time.
Yes.
Fleetpaw, $5. Movie Janice Rand. I think she got to be XO of the Excelsior with Sulu.
I think she was communications officer.
Yeah, she was. And she brought him tea.
Yeah, like she was a top officer, but she wasn't. I don't think she was second in command. Yeah, she had every role in his movies. Oh man, she's tricky because she's there. Got to give points for that. Is she the most used movie era? You're thrilled to talk about her, Stuart, I can tell. Thrilled.
I'm not. I don't have anything to say. She watches the Enterprise come into space dock.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she does.
I don't remember what she does in flashback besides give Tuvok some advice and bring tea.
Yeah, she's Star Trek 6 in flashback.
It's either a C or a D. I'm gonna let you decide.
Well, the question honestly is, and there's nothing against her personally, who's better, Janice Rand or Nurse Chapel? Because they're both kind of two sides of a coin. For the woman character of TOS, who's sort of the secondary. Now she does get Charlie X, which is more of a character thing than Chapel. Nope, but Chapel gets Loving Spock. That's her big one.
And she also lasts through the whole series.
But she's just kind of there, right? She's not. So who's better? Personal preference, Chapel or Rand?
Chapel.
I would say Chapel as well, but I think they're not far off though. Because she's a fun cameo character. Being like, oh, there she is. And it was nice then to put her back on Excelsior when she was, drug clean more and she could come back and do a sort of role. I think we're a C, because D would be mean, because she is meaningful enough. They do try and use her in TOS until she disappears. Yeah.
And the last one for today, not a band account, $5. Lieutenant DeSalle, bridge crew in several episodes. Away team takes command of the Enterprise. An alien wizard and a talking cat kidnap Captain Kirk.
Ending with style, Stuart.
I think they probably wanted to make him a semi-regular, but never happened.
I don't recognize him at all.
Oh, I do. He's got a commanding presence, and he was good in the episode. I'm just...
You know what? He could totally play Superman. He's a kind of chiseled look slightly.
Or a Starfleet captain. He could have been a captain of the Excelsior. He
could have been Pike, honestly. As in, we have to recast Pike. He's Pike. Not the voice. Don't know him. Have nothing to say, right?
I'll give him a D.
Okay. You'll give him the D.
I'll give him a D. I didn't say it would be mine.
I don't. And just so you know, guys, we do have both the other super chats here lined up with pictures. There they are. With a plethora of the people who are in the slot. There's loads. And we didn't get Kang, Koloth, or Core, and I was hoping we'd talk about them because I had 2 of the 3. That's okay. That's absolutely fine.
Next time, we will revisit it.
Next time on Trekyards.
It won't be next time necessarily, but
Stop you with your logic on Trekyards.
Tomorrow we will be back with a live talking about your favorite ships from TOS.
Yeah, and movies.
And the movie. Well, yeah. Yeah. So otherwise, there wouldn't be that many now, would there? We will do both remastered and original series if you guys... So little blobs of light versus not a more defined blob of light.
And it might sound silly, but things like Botany Bay, miniature versus remastered, they are a bit different, right? Personal preference. And in fairness... Oh, no, not in fairness. Well, no, in fairness, the TOS remastered Connie does look different to the miniature, so that would count as 2 different ships. Because they're a bit different, right? The Bassards especially, they're not identical because they couldn't match it when they did remastered. Small note, but they are slightly different, right? I'm meant to make a difference, but they are 2 different versions.
So tune in for that tomorrow so you can see us argue about whether they're different or not. And
Tab extra we said several times last chat. We did several times. That's okay.
We said it several times, yes.
And we'll get batting new one. We'll say that was the last one.
Yeah, we said Sergeant Montgomery's was the last one, then Fleet Pop put one in, then not a band account, then... So, yes, we did give lots of warning.
Speaking of warning, though, I have a very important shoot this weekend for Trek Shorts, and in fact a wrap party for said important shoot. We're trying to get the entire cast down for a party. Stuart can't be there because he's a bit far away.
A little bit.
No one's fault, but yeah. So no live on Friday, which is annoying because it looks like a rather interesting one at Starbase 80. Boo. But should be back to the Monday. But expect the live on Saturday. For those that give a damn, go watch the review on Sunday, Friday.
Yeah, watch one on Friday and then,
We like talking about them. Yeah. Also, this first show should be excellent because it looks like some fun us stuff in this one.
So yeah, our live review will be Monday. You said, right?
Yeah, Maria will be here Monday, but then gone, so we can do our live on Monday. Not a problem.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there'll be weekend videos because, yeah, like you said, there's a lot of stuff in this next one, Starbase 80. We will talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So join us for those. And join us tomorrow. And me on Thursday night for my first reaction to the episode. You know the routine, guys. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. We'll get to these other two Super Chat ones next time.
Yeah, there's, I mean, we have loads of characters in the movies. Loads. So yeah, lots more to do. And a very interesting list. Very, very, very interesting subset. I think it'll be interesting maybe when we come back next time and see if we feel the same, because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So until next time, he's
tomorrow,
Commander Cox.
in fact, obviously. So tune in tomorrow. And he's Captain Foley. I got that.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Oh, wait. We gotta end the poll.
Oh, yeah.
Are the TOS movies or TOS movie villains better? Or TOS series?
Oh, damn.
Movies wins with 64%.
So the 5 of them versus the 50-ish. Hey? Fair dues.
Cool.